Okay, so what is Caetextia? Okay, well, quite a complex topic, and we talk about it on a workshop that I run called Treating Context Blindness for the Hewing Givens College. So you can look that up on the website. If you want to, the initial paper published by Joe Griffin and Ivan Terrell, please visit caetextia.com. And the first third section of Godhead, the Brain's Big Bang, the strange origin of creativity, mysticism, and mental illness, covers the origins of Caetextia. Okay, and here's a section from that book. This is on the ability to perceive context. So, in our evolutionary past, an adaptation occurred that made it possible for our species to gain conscious access to the brain state that we know as REM, the same state in which mammalian instincts are programmed and which dreaming takes place. To avoid psychoticism, we simultaneously access the template for universal reasoning, our ability to use critical thinking with all available evidence to reach a rational understanding of the material world and interpret the actions and intentions of others. So in other words, a point in our evolutionary past, this theory posits that we developed the capacity to run two streams of attention. We've got part of our attention is given to concrete external reality and to the laws that we deduce from our experience of the world, critical thinking, universal reasoning, putting the brakes on strong emotion, checking out our thoughts, asking ourselves if we're overreacting, are we being paranoid? Are we reading something the wrong way? Are we taking something personally? Is that a predator in the bush, or is it a breeze blowing through the bush? How do we need to react to it, in other words, but making better predictions about how we react. And at the same time, access to the REM state, to imagination, to be able to be able to step aside from the present moment and think about how we might do things differently. But if you're a consequence of this development is that there are some people who are, either for genetic reasons or for environmental reasons, are missing the capacity to run these two streams of attention, and they default to relying on one or the other. And that's Caetextia. So the definition of Caetextia, the term comes from the Latin caesus, meaning blind, and textus, meaning context. It's a more accurate description for the inability to see how one variable influences another. So here's the definition of Caetextia. It's caused by an inability to keep track of multiple interconnecting variables and to reprioritize any change in those variables by referring to a wider field that contains the history of them. So by keeping track, we mean give attention to. So Caetextia is an inability to give attention to something. And to give multiple interconnecting variables means events and our instinctive knowledge. So in other words, it's an inability to give attention to the relationship between what's going on in our environment and our instinctive knowledge about the world. We can't. Somebody struggles to make the connection between the two. And that's because they struggle to access instinctive knowledge about the world. They can't consciously access the REM state, or they can't discipline overactivity in the REM state because they lack access to reason and rationality.